Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a very exciting book haul. My besties were here for basically a week and we did a lot of book shopping, and I want to share all of the books that I bought during the week. So we went to several different bookstores, starting with Target actually, because Jesse and I wanted to get a copy of Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, which is one of both of our most anticipated books of the year. She's actually already read it. She read it as an ARC, but I have not. You guys know that last year Part of Your World was one of my favorite books of the year. I was definitely excited to jump into this one. I've read everything that Abby Jimenez has published so far except for this one. I'm very excited to read it and see what I think, but all of my friends that I'm seeing their ratings come in, everybody is loving this. So I would be shocked if I didn't rate this one like 4 or 5 stars, but I'm very excited. We actually went to Barnes & Noble first and they only had one copy, and Jesse was like, no, get it. I was like, no, we're buying it together. So we both went to Target. They had more than 2 copies even, and we both snagged a copy, and I'm so excited. All right, and then the next day we went to a bookstore that I've never been to before. It's called AFK Books and Records, and they obviously have records and movies and like gift type things. They have incense, they have used books and new books, and the guys that were working in the shop were really nice, so I loved that. All of the books that I got are used and they were very much discounted, so we love to see that. I did get one of their bookmarks, so that was nice. Okay, so like I said, I got 4 books. The first one that I saw is Heartbreak for Hire, and this just pink cover drew me in. It was in the romance section. I paid $8.49 for it. I looked it up at my library and they actually had the audiobook for it, so I went ahead and borrowed it. Haven't started it yet, but I was happy to see that there was an audiobook available for it. So you have a once rising star following in her mother's academic footsteps. She dropped out of grad school and is now an administrative assistant at an insurance agency, or so everyone thinks. In reality, Brinkley works at Heartbreak for Hire, a secret service that specializes in getting revenge for jilted lovers, frenemies, and long-suffering co-workers who have cash to spare and a man who needs to be taken down. But I absolutely love this cover. Like I said, the pink cover, it's not that long, so for $8.50 I figured I would give it a shot. I also saw and decided to pick up The Stillwater Girls by 𝒑𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒕. I've seen this on, I believe, Scribd or Hoopla or somewhere, and I was like, ooh, that actually sounds really good, but I definitely want to get, you know, a physical copy to follow along. I've never read anything by this author before, and I think the cover is super creepy, and I got it for $7.95. This is like cult adjacent is what Lena said. It says they were raised to fear everything in the world, especially the truth. Ignorant of civilization and caution against its evils, 19-year-old Ren and her 2 sisters Sage and Evie were raised in an off-the-grid isolation in a primitive cabin in upstate New York. So sounds kind of creepy, and another like fairly short one, or at least it looks that way. And then they had an amazing graphic novel section. They also had a graphic section, they also had a comic section, and they also had a manga section. Ended up finding these 2, and I had to get these, so I picked up Space Boy, which is one that Keisha has recommended. I know that Elizabeth like picked up like the box set of this one, so I was really excited to find the first volume for $5.50, $5.49, so I decided to go ahead and give it a go and see if I like it, and then if I do, maybe I'll go, you know, get the boxed set. And then I also, this has been on my wish list forever. It's Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, and it's actually a series of 4, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5, like 5 stories, individual stories, but I love the art. And yeah, you know, I'm always looking for discounted graphic novels that I've been wanting. That takes care of AFK Books and Records. We actually took some time to do some other activities. I do plan to share an entire vlog, and then I might even do an extended vlog for my patrons. I also have some Patreon exclusive like ranking videos going up and stuff like that. So if you want to see like everything that happened on the girls trip, you're definitely going to have to go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon. But there's a lot of things that happen over there. It's not just exclusive videos. There's movie watches, there's readathons, reading sprints, all kind of fun stuff. Okay, Let's see. All right, I actually got a lot of books from the book exchange, but we went to 3 different locations. There's one in Norfolk, one in Virginia Beach, one in Chesapeake, and soon there's going to be a second one in Virginia Beach in the Red Mill area. So I don't remember exactly which book I got at which place, but if you want to see all of the books, some of the bookshops that we went to, I did make reels for them, and those are available on my Instagram at Lavender Mud. But I'm just going to go through the books and basically like tell you why I got them. So I got The Retreat by Mark Edwards, which this is actually one of the books that I had on my radar before we went. We were like, okay, let's not go crazy. Going to the book exchange is like going to the thrift store. So you never know what you're going to find. But if you have like a list in mind, so we were looking through like our Goodreads and our wish lists and stuff like that. And this was one of the authors that I've never read from before, but 𝒑𝒏𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒕 talks about this author, and I had 2 of his books on my wish list, and I found this one at the book exchange for $8, and I used store credit, so I actually didn't spend any money. But I got The Retreat, and that's how that author in that book got on my radar, is the author 𝒑𝒏𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒕 always talks about them. I also saw this book. It's Sally Hepworth, The Secret of Midwives. It is used, but it seemed to be like, I mean, it is, you know, it's used, but it's in like gently used condition. And I know this was on Keisha's wish list, so I went ahead and picked this up for her. It was only $8, so I was like, I don't think she has it. I messaged her like in the store, and I was like, please tell me if you have this or not, because I'm thinking about getting it for you, because I know that Sally Hepworth is her favorite author, and I know she did a whole vlog recently about meeting her and stuff like that, and I just wanted to help like boost her collection of Sally Hepworth books. So I saw it, thought of her, and said I'm getting it for her. I also got a copy of Black Beauty, the Penguin Threads edition, and this is actually to replace my copy that my TA took or something like that. They were my TA, and then they moved out of state, and they were borrowing this book at the time, so it went with them on their move. And I like these editions. They had a few other editions I was considering as well, but the Penguin Threads edition is elite. Okay, next book from the book exchange is Portrait of a Thief by Grace DeLee. This book has kind of been on and off my radar since its release, either last year or the year before. Striking cover for sure, so it's definitely like a memorable cover, and it just sounds really good. Ocean's 11 meets The Farewell in Portrait of a Thief, a lush lyrical heist novel inspired by the true story of Chinese art vanishing from Western museums. So I hope I love it, because the cover is gorgeous, and I love like thieves and stuff like that, like Ocean's 11. Yes, please. So I hope it's as good as they're making it sound. Next up is 2 Nights in Lisbon, and this crazy. I actually saw this in 2 different book exchanges, but I'm so excited that I found a copy. So I'm doing these bonus episodes on my for my patrons. That's about like book recommendations for fans of this show. So I did like Ginny and Georgia. I'm gonna do White Lotus. I'm probably gonna do like The Last of Us. There's a couple that I have in mind, but this was is gonna be one of the recommendations. I haven't done it yet, but it might be out by the time this is out. Anyway, okay, so the bonus episode is books for fans of the White Lotus, and this is one of the ones that I came across, and it just sounds so good. So it says, you think you know a person. April Price wakes up in Lisbon alone. Her husband is gone. No warning, no note, not answering his phone. Something is wrong. She starts with hotel security, then the police, then the American embassy, each time confronting questions she can't fully answer. What exactly is John doing in Lisbon? Why would he drag her along on his business trip? Who would want to harm him? And why does Ariel know so little about her new and much younger husband? Also, gorgeous cover. I hope it's as good, again, as it sounds, because I hope I can rate that one 5 out of 5 stars. It just sounds like something right up my alley, so I really hope that I love it. I also saw The Shadow House by Anna Downs. I heard about this from Lauren Loves Reads. I remember specifically, but I think some other people read it since she read it, like based on her recommendation, and I also saw their review and they liked it. It's a mystery, a house with deadly secrets, a mother who will risk everything to bring them to light. So went ahead and snagged that, because all of this was I bought all of this with store credit. I also got The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth, which, funny enough, Jessie actually found this copy for me because it was at the very top and it was behind some other books. So I totally did not see this book. And Jessie was like, don't you need The Good Sister? And I was like, abso-freaking-lutely I do. So I finally have it and I'm very excited because I think I just need to like binge her and Sandy Jones books this summer. It sounds like so much fun. I also got another Sally Hepworth at a different book exchange. I think I got this one at the Norfolk location and I got this one at the Virginia Beach location. I haven't even heard of this one. Sally Hepworth, The Family Next Door. Do you ever really know your neighbors? And I love the cover. So this one says, small perfect towns often hold the deepest secrets. From the outside, Essie's life looks idyllic. A loving husband, a beautiful house, and a good neighborhood, and a nearby mother who dotes on her grandchildren. But few of Essie's friends know her secret shame. In a moment of maternal despair, she once walked away from her newborn, who was asleep in the carriage in the park. Disaster was avoided and Essie got better, but she still fears what lurks inside her, even as her daughter gets older and she has a second baby. So then things take off from there. I'm really looking forward to it. And then Jessie was telling me, so we saw this one book at the AFK Records and Bookstores. The cover was kind of a little ripped, so she was like, oh, I don't want it, you know, like I'll wait till if I find another copy at like the book exchange. And I've seen this book around quite a bit, but I never really knew what it was about. And she told me about it, and then it's also being adapted, and she showed me the trailer, and I was like, oh, I need to read that book. So we made a deal that if she saw another copy, like at the book exchange, she would get it first. And then if there was another one, I would get it. So we both ended up walking out with a copy. She got it at one location, I got it at the next location, and that is Saint X. I mean, this cover is so striking. Like I said, it's a book that I've seen around for a while, but I never really knew what it was about. It says, Claire Thomas is only 7 years old when her college-age sister Allison disappears on the last night of their family vacation at a resort on the Caribbean island of Saint X. So it also kind of reminds me a little like it might be good for fans of White Lotus. Anyway, several days later, Allison's body is found in a remote spot on a nearby quay, and 2 local men, employees of the resort, are arrested. But the evidence is slim, the timeline against it, and the men are soon released. The story turns into national tabloid news, a lurid mystery that will go unsolved. For Claire and her parents, there is only the return home to be broken. They can only return home to broken lives. So years later, she's living and working in New York City when a brief but fateful encounter brings her together with Clive Richardson, one of the men originally suspected of murdering her sister. And the story takes off from there. So, oh, gorgeous cover. Sounds intriguing. There's going to be an adaptation. Love that. So those are all of the books that I got at the book exchange. We have 2 more bookstores left. Next up, we went to Barnes & Noble, my local Barnes & Noble that's right across the road from my neighborhood. The book that I had in mind to pick up is I Have Some Questions for You. Lena is actually currently reading this, so we're doing a book of the month clear out in my Patreon this month, and she gave me a selection of 5 books for me to choose from because we have like a bingo board. And one of the things is like, let Gwen decide. So they give me 5 things. And I said, ooh, read this one. Because the first person that ever really talked to me about this book was Elizabeth from Reading Riley. Then I heard Alexandra Roslin talk about it. Then I've been hearing Lena talk about it. And I was like, okay, it sounds good. I want to give it a shot despite what anybody else may think. I want to give it a go for myself. It is kind of chunky, but I'm excited about it because it has like, not podcast, like in ear on page, but like it's about kind of podcasting, and you guys know I love podcast thrillers. I've heard it's kind of like The It Girl by Ruth Ware, which wasn't my favorite. I gave it 3 stars, hoping to love this a little bit more, but I'm excited nonetheless. So I did get that at Barnes & Noble. That's the only book that I had in mind, and I totally was not expecting to find a copy of The Last Word by Taylor Adams, literally my most anticipated book of the year. here. Well, maybe besides yours truly. But I've been super excited about this because recently a few of my friends have had the ARC. They've read it. They've rated it 5 stars. Even people that aren't my friend that have read it. This has been getting really high ratings, and it makes me really excited because No Exit by Taylor Adams is one of my all-time favorite thrillers. I did read Hairpin Bridge. I think I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. Like, it wasn't the worst book I've ever read, but it definitely was not up to the caliber of No Exit. And I have heard that this one is like back on track, and I have already started reading this. We had like a little live reading sprints out in my backyard yesterday, and I did go ahead and start this. I am on page 60, and I'm using a bookmark that Summer actually made for everybody that was on the girls trip. So I will be reading more of this on sprints tonight. And then I also saw that the Teen Titans Robin comic released, and I wanted to get the cover that matched the other ones, but this one was a Barnes & Noble exclusive, so I decided to go ahead and get this one. But this is the 4th book in the Teen Titans. So you have Raven, and you have Beast Boy, and then you have Beast Boy Loves Raven, and now you have Robin. So I want to definitely continue on in this comic series. And then last but not least, we went yesterday to Prince Books, which is another independent bookstore. Oh, we went to this other independent bookstore called Eleanor's in Norfolk, but I didn't get anything there. But I think all of my friends did, but I did not get anything there. But then when I went to Prince Books yesterday, I did walk out with 2 new books. So the first one that I found is this like classic murder mystery translated from Japanese, the Hanjun Murders. I am literally have no idea how to say this, but I know that Lauren from Lauren Loves Reads has read a couple of these, and they did have more in store. I've never seen them in the store before, so I absolutely had to snag this one. It was the shortest one, so I figured I could kind of like dip my toes and see if this is for me before committing to like a longer book. But I've heard these are epic, so I'm really excited to see if I can like figure out the mystery and stuff like that. And then once again, Jessie was looking out for me, and she found another Sally Hepworth that I needed, The Younger Wife. And I'm just so excited to have so many Sally Hepworths to read now. This is the Prince Books bookmark. But yeah, so those are all of the books that I got on the girls trip. The girls trip was absolutely, it was so much fun. Like I said, I'm gonna have like a vlog going out. I have a couple videos going out on my Patreon, and I did get a lot of footage. I think I haven't even started editing it yet, so I may do like a regular vlog on like this channel that you're watching right now, but I might do an extended version for Patreon. So I'll just have to see how it works out. But anyway, thank you for watching my book haul. Let me know which book you are the most excited to see me haul and read. Also, leave a yellow heart emoji down in the comment section down below if you made it this far in the video. Girls, you know what to do. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.